So my brother called me and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, sorting hose clamps. I think he thought I was nuts. It's all a part of what I've been doing over here for the past couple days. Is just been going through the garage, going through different cabinets, things that I've put away over the years, and trying to decide, do they really need to be kept any longer? I guess that's really kind of what you need to do, is figure out what needs kept, what doesn't need kept. Am I being a little pathetic, washing out parts trays and things like that? Well, I spent money on it a while ago, so it must have been good enough then. Might as well be good enough now to keep it clean and clean it up and make it look good. So yeah, I washed out those 4 parts bins that had these nails in it over here. And those were just in those yellow totes over there, and I thought, well, I usually keep all these salsa jars after I'm done. Good stuff there, fresh salsa. But either way, so I keep these jars and decided to put my nails into them. So some of what I've been doing is, like for instance, this cabinet here. Going through there, and these are all PVC cements and solvents and plumber's putty, and why not go through and find out which ones have dried up and which ones have hardened up and get rid of them. Some stainless hardware, some miscellaneous stuff. And then they started doing a little bit of this over here. And I've got a bunch of these. These are the newest ones. These were DeWalt parts trays that I got. And got these over at Home Depot on Black Friday special. And I've made these different shelves to hold those. And let me move this out of the way. Now, these parts trays are all the same. Those are all the same, and all the same. Miscellaneous pipe fittings, things like that. Now, these ones I actually really like. So I've bought a bunch of these, and I've got an extra one over there. But what makes it nice with these ones is they've got a lot smaller compartment trays. So for reference, I can get, that's about 2 fingers wide there, 3-4 fingers here. But it sure makes it nice for being able to get all the different hardware. And you can actually put a ton of hardware in these little drawers. Heat shrink terminals. Store all my heat shrink terminals. No, I didn't buy this way. I bought different heat shrink packets over the years and just organized them all within the same tray here. So everything that I do when I need a heat shrink terminal. Crimp terminals. Anything that has to be crimped. You move over here to the DeWalt ones like I showed a little bit ago. What's a special washer? Well, it's any washer that's just very odd sized. Whether it's these smaller fender washers, different size fender washers, these big machine style washers, and even back here, something that's even bigger. But I guess the reality of it is it's a washer of some sort. Airline fittings, just as you would assume. Got a little room for some more, but all the different airline fittings. How about electrical staples? I like the clear lids, very clear lids, so you can see what's in there and the amount that you have. These ones that I was showing you right here, the ones that have the multiple size or different size trays in them. That gives you an idea. That one's 4 fingers wide or 3 inches, 2.5, 2. And I'll show you over in my screw drawer over there why that makes it nice. And these I got on Amazon. Stalwart, Stalwart. So I've been working on organizing just all these nuts and screws that have been laying around in oddball trays like those, or laying around over and things like that. And so when we get over here to my screw drawer, you can see down here These were some cheap Stanleys I picked up when a local hardware store was going out of business, Value Home Center. And I literally had hundreds of these cheap little trays like these. And this is what you would buy the screw in. I had hundreds of these things just all through this drawer. And it was an absolute mess. Like I've got over here where I was stacking them. And I'm not real crazy about having to do that. I don't like being able to, or don't like doing that. So these are a Stanley. And these, I've separated all these screws because there are Torx head bit on them. And whether they're 3-inch, 2-inch, 1.5 inch, black, gold, so on, that's how they're stored in there. And I keep a couple Torx bits in there just in case I got to come over and grab something real quick. The next drawer, or the next one down, these are all like a sheet metal screw, different sizes. And what I did was took all the cardboard cases or boxes that these came in, transferred them into these. And it really makes it nice to have all the same kind of screw. So these would be, like I said, a flathead sheet metal type of screw in there. And then let's jump over to all of these. And these are those stalwart trays that I was talking about. So now you can see that I've got 3-inch screws, and these are all a flathead cabinet type of screw. Torx. And so everything in here is a flathead type of screw. So when I'm doing a project that I know that I need something with a flathead rather than a countersunk type of head, it makes it easy to come to this drawer here. So again, 3-inch. So if you got 3-inch screws, 2.5, 2-inch, 2-inch, 1.5 inch, 1 inch, and so on, makes it really nice. So again, come down to the next one down here. These are all a Torx head type of screw, Phillips head type of screw, and just miscellaneous oddball types of screws. But you know, like these two, there's not a big enough drawer or big enough spot to put both of these in one, so I just grouped it up beside each other. Just one quick way to organize your screws instead of having a big jar full of them. And again, there's another ones over here. These are different. Some might be stainless, some might be for a different reason, and so on. But just really makes it easy when you're coming down through here to find what you're looking for. So whether it's screws or it's hardware, hooks, washers, pipe plugs, O-ring grommets, things like that, pulleys, toggles, thumb screws, cap screws, anchors, cotter pins, snap rings, hitch pins, the nuts and bolts. I don't have a huge selection of nuts and bolts, so we're getting that all cleaned up. This stuff here was all laying loose in this drawer. Just piled in there. It just didn't make any sense to me anymore to store it like that because I was constantly just rifling through everything. So I've got to come up with a storage solution, and that's why I washed those trays over here on the floor. I might repurpose those to try and store these in, because I think if I look at the quantities, there should be enough trays left, and we can go from there. But yeah, basically been out here cleaning up, working up, and picking up. Going through all my drawers up here, everything that I've been putting in there for the years and years and years. I thought, well, let's go through it. If I haven't used it, if I haven't touched it, then it's either getting thrown away based on the price of it, or I'm going to sell it or get rid of it or whatever. And before I was doing all these, I did this drawer. These all were laying loose. These trays here are left over from these trays that I don't need. Like, let's say this very top one here. These are all in the bags, and some of them are pretty good size. So they wouldn't fit into a little parts tray like that. So I left them in their individually labeled bag, and I'm able to repurpose these over in the drawer over there. So I've got quick disconnect fittings here for garden hose. I like to keep these around because they do wear out. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, you've got your male end and female end here. So here's your quick disconnect for a garden hose fitting. And all of my garden hose fittings, whether it goes to the pressure washer or whatever garden hose, I use these for a quick disconnect. O-rings. You guys ever crush or ruin an O-ring? No, I keep them around. Something else I don't know if I've ever showed you guys, but I guess if you watch Adam or Jake or Kyle, I know he did it. So I came up with this. These are these Apache cases you get over at Harbor Freight. And what I did with mine is I actually have bolted on a PVC 4-inch tube, and I store one of my camera tripods in it. I've made everything magnetically mounted. I don't know if you caught that, but and then this will mount on any machine, gives me a 90 degree. Got a metal bracket down here that mounts onto, and then all of my mounts up here. And then that's a magnet, or excuse me, that's metal for my magnetic phone mount. I use the Rockform phone mount. And then inside of here is, well, that's kind of a mess right that second, but it's where I keep my drone batteries, GoPro, drone controller, microphones, different cables like those need to go in there, and then my mounts and stuff, magnetic mounts go in there. That way when I go filming off site, pick up the whole case and go. But I will be honest, I do want to show you guys something, and it's what Autumn and I have been doing a lot of around here lately. Over here in the other garage, we've been coming over and hanging out in front of the fire. Got one of these zero gravity chairs for each one of us, whether we're reading a book or watching YouTube videos or whatever. But makes it pretty nice to come in here, and boy, is that nice and warm. One of these days I will do a video to talk about this. I've had this a year now, and the pros and cons of it. Got some pellet storage right here, and the other pellets that I have are over in the far garage. Let me go turn the light on. But over here, this cabinet down here was custom built. My wife had it built probably 30 years ago for me. And this was my very first toolbox. I didn't have snap-on toolboxes back then at the time. And it's what I stored my tools in. It is on rollers, so the cabinet will roll around. And then in here, my One-Eye Custom decals and other decals, things like that. Small paintbrush, stuff like that. Some electrical adapter plugs. Here I've got paint rollers, the rolls themselves. Sanding and drywall type of stuff. There's my drywall knives, taping, paint rollers, paint trays, manuals, equipment manuals. And this is about 50 plus years of equipment. Get rid of the manuals when I get rid of the part. So one thing I did want to show you guys, I don't know how many of you have gone and purchased paint or painting supplies, but that stuff is expensive. When I built the house here 30 plus years ago, I remember a gallon of paint being anywhere from $10 to $20 a gallon. Now, this particular paint for this stuff here is upwards of $80 to $90 a gallon. I don't have a price on this one here, but yeah, anyhow, this stuff was up around $80, $90 a gallon. So I like to try and keep it organized. So up here, I've taken this cabinet, and this was a cabinet I used to have in our basement, and it's what I stored my construction equipment in. But I've repurposed this and put it out here in the garage, and I used a bunch of different screws into the back, and all my paintbrushes, they have holes in them, so hang them up. Keeps them from getting bad bristles. And these are, you know, over here, these are the good expensive brushes. These are the cheap cement block brushes. Different things for taping, painting, different brushes. The cheap chip brushes. And then over here, the paint trays, the different handhelds with their liners in them. I know not everybody can do this, but if you have a cabinet, like a metal cabinet, that's a great way to store it. I've always believed in visual though. I like to be able to see what I have. And you know, some of this stuff is perishable. Paint's perishable, it gets used up. Brushes, they get worn out. So if you come out here and you're wondering where your brushes are or what you need, why, it's a quick visual. So anyhow, I just wanted to do a quick video. Haven't done one in quite a while. I'm not very good at this, just throwing something together if I don't have a project or if I'm not working on a project. Makes it kind of difficult to, makes it difficult for me to do. I'm not real good at that, but I guess I just wanted to show you, yeah, I am still around. Been working on cleaning up the shop here. Haven't had a whole lot of projects being worked on, so it was the perfect time with it being so darn cold outside. Can't go out split wood, can't go out cut wood. I'm actually out of wood in the wood yard right now. I've gotten it all split up, and the splitter's over to a buddy of mine who's actually looking into purchasing that, and we'll discuss that here at a later video as well. But anyhow, that's what I've been doing. Just some simple organization. What the heck is this thing? Well, that's a wintertime thing that I hang up on my garage door rail here. Not the actual garage door rail, but a tube that I have behind it. But it's a shoe storage thing for, say, like in a closet. Well, I like gloves, so I've got some lighter duty gloves here. And then as it gets colder out, you got other gloves. Well, why 3 pair of gloves? A lot of times they'll get wet. I'll need another pair. Come in and grab the second pair. It's a hat, a face mask, and then a waterproof glove up there. But this makes a perfect way to store gloves just for wintertime. Now, that won't be there in the summer, but just come and do a quick grab for some gloves. Sure makes it nice. But either way, that's a real quick, simple video. Just to let you guys know, I'm still around. I just haven't been able to find the ambition to do a video on plowing the driveway for the last month and a half, because that's what I've been doing, or shoveling, or any of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of guys out there that are able to do those videos, and it's just not for me. I just can't seem to make them entertaining enough for myself to get excited about doing. Another thing that I did, and I'll have to get a picture somewhere if I can find it or show part of a video, but this entire wall was completely full of brooms and brushes and ladders and tie-down straps and everything else. And when Autumn pulled the car in, and granted, her car isn't a car that I want to tie-down straps or ladder or broom to fall off and hit the wall, but I've repainted and patched all of the walls in the garage over here. Again, over on this side, and then I've moved things around that made sense to where they should be. These are wash brooms and brushes, squeegees, and most of this stuff is all wash type of, car wash type of stuff over here with the car wash, pressure washer, brushes, and all that. So when I need something for car washing, it's all right here. I don't have a cabinet here. There just isn't enough room. There's only about 12 inches, maybe 14 inches total. So that's why I don't put a cabinet there. Tool attachments, again, for the vacuum hanging up there. Relocated the Master Blaster air dryer, so when we blow off the cars after washing them, put a long 20-foot hose on that. Can get either side. Generally, I do it outside, though. That's it. That's what I've been doing. Hopefully, if you guys have any interest in how I'm doing this stuff or what I'm doing, leave a message. Let me know what you think. I know a lot of people don't have time for this, but I do, because it sure makes it easier when I need to find something later on. And that's my biggest thing for doing this stuff, is it makes it easy to find it later. Some people will say, I ain't got time for that. Well, good. You keep searching for your stuff. Not me. I know where it's all at. Everywhere, anytime I need to come and get it. It is, it's labeled and it's organized. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thanks, and we'll see you again soon.